The remote colony of HFY lay quiet beneath the pale light of its twin suns. Small dome structures dotted the landscape, surrounded by fields of crops engineered to survive the harsh climate. Children laughed and ran along the dusty paths. Unaware of the dark shapes approaching from the sky, the aliens came silently at first, their sleek ships gliding above the colony like shadows. Most humans did not notice them until the first blasts tore through the outer fields. Alarms wailed across the settlement, and panic erupted instantly. Families scrambled to shelters, while workers abandoned machines and tools, rushing to grab their loved ones. In the chaos, one small child, no older than 10, ran through the central square, clutching a metal toy. The aliens swooped down, and a sudden beam struck nearby, knocking the child off their feet. Before anyone could reach them, the raiders lifted the child into their ship with mechanical arms. Disappearing into the sky as quickly as they had arrived, screams filled the colony. Parents cried out, running toward the launch pads where the raiders had appeared. Farmers and engineers grabbed whatever tools or weapons they could find, though most were useless against ships armed with plasma cannons. The aliens moved efficiently, hitting key structures and then retreating. They left fires smoldering in the fields, smoke rising into the pink sky, as if mocking the humans below. The colonists stared in disbelief. They took the child, shouted one mother, her voice breaking.
Oh.
How could they? No, muttered a young man, his hands shaking. We can't just let them get away with this. But the aliens had already vanished into space, leaving behind only burning buildings and stunned survivors. Many assumed humanity would not respond, that the child's abduction would be the last anyone heard of HFY. That assumption would be their first mistake. Far above the planet in orbit, the human fleet detected the attack almost immediately. Ships that had been dormant for years suddenly came to life, their sensors picking up the energy signatures of the raiders. Control panels blinked with warnings as automated defense systems began to stir. Lights flickered across the hulls of massive human warships, long thought, abandoned or obsolete, revealing their dormant power. Captain Lyra Cade, commander of the nearby fleet, leaned over the bridge console. Her eyes narrowed as she studied the readouts. They've attacked a civilian settlement, she said, voice cold. A child has been taken. Prepare all ships. For immediate launch, we will not tolerate this. The crew moved quickly. Ships' engines roared to life, and docking bays opened, revealing warships that had not seen action for decades. The metallic hum of machinery filled the bridge, blending with the low thrum of the fleet's power cores. Automated drones and defense systems activated simultaneously, scanning for any sign of the aliens. Meanwhile, on HFY, the colonists gathered in small groups, watching the sky for a sign of help. Some cried, some shouted in anger, while others simply stood in disbelief. Even from the ground, faint flashes of human ships could be seen moving into orbit. The colony had never witnessed such a display of readiness, and hope slowly replaced despair. The aliens, far beyond the planet, did not realize they had triggered something far greater than a simple raid. From their perspective, they had completed a routine strike, taking what they wanted and leaving minimal evidence of resistance. Yet every sensor in their fleet picked up the faint energy readings of human warships awakening, systems humming in synchronization. Something old and powerful had stirred. Back on HFY, a young engineer named Rylan worked frantically with others to repair damaged systems. He glanced up at the sky as a shadow passed over the settlement, a human fighter scouting the area. Relief and awe mixed in his eyes. They're coming, he whispered. They're really coming. Duh. Captain Cade monitored every detail. We need to locate the child first, she said. Then we strike at those responsible. This will be a warning to any who dare harm humanity's innocent. The fleet moved like a living organism, ships adjusting positions, weapons aligning, engines powering in perfect harmony. Automated systems communicated silently, predicting the raiders' possible escape routes. Each warship, though aged, moved with precision, guided by both AI and human operators. It was clear humanity would not allow this attack to go unanswered. The camera of one reconnaissance drone captured the scene below the colony still, smoldering and the first glimmers of human ships appearing above. The contrast was stark. Aliens had thought they could instill fear, but instead, they had awakened fury. Every beam of light from the human fleet seemed to promise justice. Every hum of machinery whispered of retaliation. Some colonists whispered rumors as the fleet grew larger. "They say humans never truly die," one elder muttered. "Our ships sleep, but when the time comes, we wake." Suspense built across the galaxy as the alien raiders realized the magnitude of their mistake. A single act of cruelty, harming a child, had set a chain reaction in motion. Humanity, patient and cautious for centuries, was now awake, prepared, and united. As the warships closed in on the last known location of the raiders, the lights across the hulls flickered like a heartbeat, resonating with the determination of a species that would not tolerate injustice. The child's safety was the first priority. But the message was clear to anyone who dared oppose humans. Every attack would be met with unmatched force, intelligence, and unity. The stars above Zarin Prime twinkled silently as the human fleet accelerated toward the horizon. Somewhere in space, the aliens would soon learn the price of cruelty, and the galaxy itself would witness the fury of a species defending its own. Far above Zarin Prime, the human fleet stirred to life. Ships that had rested for decades powered up, their dormant engines thrumming with energy. The fleet was not large, but every vessel carried a history of battles, a legacy of human ingenuity and resilience. Lights flickered across the hulls, and long silent weapon systems awakened, ready for action. Captain Lyra Cade walked briskly across the bridge of the flagship, her boots echoing on the metal floor. "Status report," she commanded. "All systems online, Captain," replied Lieutenant Rin, checking the glowing consoles. "Weapons calibrated, drones activated, navigation is synchronized across the fleet." Cade's eyes narrowed as she studied the sensor readings, could plot the course to intercept the raiders, and locate the child immediately. "We move fast, precise, and silent. They won't know what hit them." Below in the colonies, survivors watched the sky as the first human warships rose above the horizon. The light from their engines reflected off the dust, creating a dazzling, almost sacred glow. Fear turned into hope. Families who had lost everything dared to believe that help had arrived. The alien raiders, meanwhile, had reached deep space, thinking themselves safe. They had calculated escape routes, confident that the humans would not dare pursue so quickly. Their laughter echoed through their ships. "Pathetic humans," one alien sneered. "Their fleets are relics. Even if they wake, they can't reach us in time." But the aliens were wrong. Every human ship in the fleet had systems linked in perfect synchronization. Drones flew ahead, scouting, transmitting data back to the flagship in real time. The fleet moved as one organism, responding instantly to every sensor reading. Humans had mastered coordination over centuries, and their unity was a weapon more deadly than any gun. Captain Cade activated the fleet's communication channels. "All units, maintain formation and prepare for engagement. The raiders have underestimated us. They will soon learn why humanity is feared across the galaxy." In the command room, holographic displays lit up with images of the aliens' fleet. The data showed weak points, escape vectors, and energy signatures. The humans did not rely solely on firepower. They relied on intelligence, strategy, and patience. Each ship adjusted its course automatically, positioning itself for maximum advantage. A young engineer, Rylan, monitored the fleet's AI coordination systems. He smiled slightly. "The old warships are awake," he murmured. "They've waited a long time for this." Back on Zarin Prime, survivors whispered among themselves. "They say humans never truly die," one elder said. "Even when our fleets are gone, our ships sleep, waiting for the moment we are needed most." As the fleet moved closer to the raiders, the children who had witnessed the attack looked to the sky in awe. They did not yet understand the full scale of what was coming, but the sight of human warships emerging from orbit was enough to ignite courage in their hearts. Suddenly, The fleet's sensors picked up the raiders' last known position. The ships moved with remarkable speed and precision. Plasma cannons lined up, shields strengthened, and drones flew in protective patterns around the flagship. Every system worked in harmony, controlled by both human crew and the fleet's AI. Captain Cade watched the screens. The alien raiders believed they had escaped slipping through the asteroid belt with the stolen child, but every movement they made was tracked by humanity's fleet. Humans moved like shadows, precise and silent, their ships weaving through the asteroid field with expert calculation. Captain Lyra Cade's flagship led the way. "Keep formation," she ordered calmly. "Do not engage until we have full control of the battlefield. We strike with precision, not panic." Below decks, engineers monitored energy readings and navigational data. Drones scanned for heat signatures, mapping the asteroid belt in detail. "They're here," Rylan whispered, pointing to a faint glimmer. "They think they're hiding, but we can see every movement." The aliens, unaware of the fleet closing in, began to relax. "We are too fast for them," one raider scoffed. "Human fleets are weak, relics of a bygone era. They cannot catch us now. They were wrong." Every human ship moved in perfect synchronization, adjusting to every twist and turn of the asteroid belt. Automated drones blocked escape routes. While the fleet closed in, weapons systems lined up without firing. This was a hunt, not a battle, calculated, controlled, and inevitable. Captain Cade observed the tactical map on the bridge. "Deploy intercept drones," she commanded. "Position the heavy cruisers to block exits. Let them think they have room to maneuver. We will guide them where we need them." The aliens noticed distant lights flickering across the asteroid field. Panic began to spread. "What is that?" one screeched. "There. Everywhere." Human drones moved like swarms of glowing insects, intercepting scouts and disabling sensors. The aliens tried evasive maneuvers, but the humans anticipated every action. Every escape path was blocked, every weapon disabled before it could even fire. Ryland's fingers danced across the control panels. "The old warships are alive," he said in awe. "Every system is synchronized. They can predict the raiders' movements before they happen." The child remained safe within the flagship, unaware of the fleet's tactical brilliance. Yet even their presence seemed to amplify humanity's power. Sensors detected the child's unique biosignature, which interacted with the fleet's AI, enhancing coordination and reflexes. It was as if the humans were connected to something larger, a living network of strategy and protection. The aliens tried a desperate attack, sending plasma torpedoes toward the human fleet. They expected destruction, chaos, and confusion. Instead, their torpedoes were intercepted mid-flight by automated shields, absorbed and redirected harmlessly into space. The raiders were stunned. Captain Cade's voice cut through the bridge. "Do not engage recklessly. Patience wins this fight. We do not destroy without purpose. Precision, not vengeance, guides us." The human fleet adjusted its formation. Your fighters flanked the raiders, heavy cruisers blocked all exit points, and energy pulses scanned the environment, revealing every hiding spot. The asteroid field, once a maze, was now a carefully controlled arena. Humanity controlled the battlefield without even firing a shot. From one alien ship, Commander Zorak growled, "How can this be? How do they know our every move?" Lieutenant Rin shook his head. "It's not magic," he said softly. "It's unity, strategy, and adaptation. They fight as one, every ship, every crew member, every AI system is connected. This is humanity at its peak." The aliens scrambled, trying to split into smaller groups, but drones intercepted each vessel, forcing them back together. The human fleet's presence was overwhelming, not because of raw firepower, but because of perfect coordination. Every move the raiders made was countered, every path blocked, every escape predicted. Captain Cade observed silently. "Remember," she reminded her crew, "we are here to protect. The child must be recovered safely. Do not be reckless. Let them exhaust themselves." The aliens, realizing they were trapped, panicked. Communication broke down as fear spread through their fleet. Their attempts to fire, evade, and escape were met with calm, controlled precision. The humans did not attack blindly. They guided the raiders, herding them into positions where capture was inevitable. Ryland smiled faintly. They thought they could take a human child and escape, he murmured. They didn't understand. Humanity never surrenders, never forgets, and never abandons its own. The fleet closed in, surrounding the alien raiders. Lights from human warships reflected off the asteroids, creating a glowing net that trapped the enemy. Every system worked in perfect harmony, every crew member executing their role flawlessly. The aliens' confidence collapsed, they realized. They were facing a species that would not be intimidated, a species that valued life and justice above fear. And they were about to learn the consequences of harming a human child. Captain Cade's voice was steady, yet carried a silent warning. Prepare to recover the child. All ships maintain formation. Any aggression will be met with calculated force. Humanity protects its own. That is our law and our will. In the vast, silent expanse of the asteroid field, the humans moved as one unstoppable force. The aliens could feel it, the awakening of a species they had underestimated, the calm before the storm, the inevitability of justice. The hunt had begun, and humanity would not fail. Inside the flagship, the child sat quietly in a small observation chamber. Though frightened at first, the child could sense the presence of humans around them, calm, focused, and determined. Every flicker of light from the ship, every hum of machinery, seemed to echo with purpose. Captain Lyricade entered the room, kneeling beside the child. "You are safe now," she said softly. "We will get you home. But right now, help your people and stop those who hurt you." The child nodded, gripping a small toy tightly. Something stirred deep inside them, not fear, but a strange energy they did not understand. The ship's sensors, linked to the fleet's AI, began detecting it. Unconsciously, the child's presence synchronized with the systems, enhancing the fleet's awareness and responsiveness. Rylan, monitoring the system boards, froze. "Captain, it's the child's biosignature. It's interacting with our fleet's AI," he whispered. "It's amplifying our sensors, our reflexes, even targeting calculations." This is unprecedented. Captain Cade's eyes widened. This could be the key to ending this safely. We use it wisely. Outside, the alien raiders were still panicked, trying desperately to escape the growing human fleet. They could not understand how the humans were predicting their every move. Every turn, every evasive maneuver seemed anticipated and countered. Before it could be executed, their confidence eroded rapidly. Inside the flagship, engineers and AI operators adjusted systems to channel the child's bioenergy safely. Lights pulsed along the corridors in response to the signals and the hum of the fleet seemed to grow louder, synchronized, alive. The child, unaware of their impact, sat quietly, staring at the distant stars. "Prepare the intercept teams," Captain Cade ordered. "We will not fire unless necessary. The raiders will be captured, not destroyed. Focus on recovery." First human drones moved forward, scanning the asteroids with enhanced precision. Sensors illuminated hidden enemy ships, revealing cloaked positions the aliens had thought secure. The aliens realized too late that the humans were no ordinary fleet. This was not just skill or technology. Something deeper, something uniquely human was guiding them. The alien commander Zorak growled in frustration. They see everything. How is this possible? We are ghosts to other fleets. How do they find us?" Lieutenant Rin smiled grimly. "It is not luck, nor fear, nor force. It is unity and intelligence. And, sometimes, the smallest humans make the biggest difference." Captain Cade nodded. "Every life matters," she said, "especially the innocent." The child's presence seemed to strengthen the human fleet in ways the aliens could not measure. Every movement became sharper, every calculation faster, every weapon more precise. It was as if the fleet itself had a heartbeat, pulsing with courage, protection, and determination. The aliens tried one desperate attack, firing a volley of energy beams toward the fleet. The beams fizzled before reaching their targets, intercepted by shields reinforced by the fleet's enhanced systems. Panic spread through their ranks. We cannot win. They anticipate every strike, Zorak screamed. Rylan glanced at the child and whispered, "It's you. Somehow, it's you." Captain Cade placed a reassuring hand on the child's shoulder. "You don't need to fight," she said. "Your presence is enough. It reminds us why we fight, why humanity survives." The fleet moved like a living organism, carefully herding the alien raiders into positions from which escape was impossible. Every move was guided by strategy, intelligence, and the mysterious energy flowing from the child. The aliens began to understand harming even one human, especially a child, could awaken a force unlike any other in the galaxy. The asteroid field trembled with the hum of awakened human warships. Every ship glowed faintly, pulsing with energy as if alive. Captain Lyra Cade stood on the bridge of the flagship, calm and focused. "All units, engage with precision. The raiders have underestimated us, and now they will learn the cost of harming a human child." The alien raiders panicked as the human fleet advanced. Their cloaked ships were no longer hidden. Drones illuminated their positions, scanning and mapping each vessel. Every escape route was blocked. The aliens had underestimated the humans' ability to anticipate, adapt, and strike with coordination. A young pilot, Tolan, gripped the controls of his fighter. "Target acquired, Captain," he said, his voice steady despite the tension. "We can intercept the lead raider ship and recover the child." "Do it," Cade replied. "But remember, precision first. Protect the child above all." As the first strikes began, the human fleet did not fire blindly. Energy pulses rippled through the asteroid field, disabling alien shields and weapons without destroying entire ships. Automated drones immobilized smaller raiders, creating a net that funneled them into positions from which escape was impossible. The alien commander Zorak shouted orders to his fleet: "Return fire. Scatter. Do not let them trap us." It was too late. Every maneuver they attempted had already been anticipated. Human warships moved with grace and deadly efficiency, guiding the aliens into zones where they could be subdued. It was not chaos. It was calculated perfection. Rylan monitored the fleet's systems from the control room. "The child's biosignature is amplifying everything," he whispered. "Shields, targeting, reflexes. The fleet is operating faster than any human crew could alone." Captain Cade nodded, eyes fixed on the holographic display. "This is humanity at its peak," she said quietly. "We fight not out of hatred, but for justice. And we protect the innocent, always." The aliens attempted one desperate move, firing plasma torpedoes toward the flagship. The beams exploded harmlessly against enhanced shields. Diverted with precision by automated systems linked to the child's energy signature. One raider screamed in disbelief. "How can they anticipate everything?" Tolan maneuvered his fighter between two raider ships. He fired non-lethal energy nets that immobilized the vessels, preventing further attacks. "They can't escape," he said, excitement and awe in his voice. "They're trapped." Meanwhile, heavy cruisers moved forward, cutting off reinforcements. And securing the perimeter, drones moved in waves, herding the raiders like prey into safe zones for capture. The aliens realized the humans were not just fighting, they were orchestrating a symphony of strategy, patience, and overwhelming coordination. Captain Cade issued orders calmly: "Prepare recovery teams for the child. Ensure the raiders cannot retaliate. Every ship remains in formation, no mistakes." The aliens, now desperate, tried a chaotic retreat. Explosions erupted as their own weapons misfired or were intercepted. Panic spread through their ranks. "We cannot win. Humanity is everywhere. How is this possible?" Zorak screamed. From the child's chamber, small lights flickered across the control panels. The AI systems, linked to the child's biosignature, pulsed like a heartbeat. Every maneuver the fleet executed was guided subtly, safely, yet with devastating precision. Even without firing, the humans controlled the battlefield completely. Talon's fighter approached the alien ship holding the child. "I have visual," he said. "They're inside, but unharmed." Beginning extraction. Aboard the alien ship, the child clutched their toy tightly, eyes wide with fear. Suddenly, the hatch opened. Human drones swooped in, neutralizing alien resistance with minimal force. The child was lifted safely into the waiting fighter, greeted by Talon's reassuring voice. "Are you okay?" he asked softly. The child nodded, relief washing over their small face. In that moment, the energy flowing from the child seemed to surge, strengthening the fleet even more. The humans were unstoppable, not through rage or destruction, but through unity, courage, and protection. Captain Cade watched the fleet. All units, disengage the raiders. They will retreat and remember this lesson. Humanity protects its own, and any attack on the innocent will be met with overwhelming force. The aliens fled, broken, confused, and terrified. They had underestimated humans, thinking their technology alone could overcome centuries of preparation and the deep bond between humans. They had learned that harming the weakest of humanity would provoke a response unlike any in the galaxy. Rylan smiled as he watched the retreat. They thought they could take a child and escape. They didn't understand. Humans never surrender, never forget, and always protect their own. Captain Cade turned to the fleet, her expression resolute. Prepare to return to Zarin Prime. The child is safe, the colony is protected, and humanity has shown its strength. But let this also be a warning. The galaxy will not find us weak, and the innocent will always have defenders. The fleet moved back toward orbit, leaving the alien raiders behind, defeated but alive. Humanity's message was clear. Anyone who harms the innocent will face the calculated, unstoppable force of a species united in protection, courage, and justice. Above Zarin Prime, the colonists watched as the human fleet returned. Hope, awe, and gratitude filled their hearts. They had witnessed humanity at its best, disciplined, fearless, and unstoppable when defending the vulnerable. And far across the galaxy, whispers spread among alien fleets. Humans were not extinct. Humans were not weak, and harming even the smallest among them could unleash a fury no one could survive. The alien raiders had fled. But humanity's response did not end. With their retreat, Captain Lyra Cade watched from the flagship as the fleet swept through the asteroid field, scanning for stragglers. Every ship glowed faintly, alive with power and purpose, fueled by determination to protect the innocent and punish cruelty. On Zarin Prime, the colonists emerged from hiding, awestruck by the display above them. Fires in the fields still burned, smoke drifting into the twin suns' pale light, but the fear that had gripped them was replaced with hope. Children ran through the streets, their laughter cautious yet free. The child who had been captured now stood safely among them, smiling weakly, still holding the small toy that had begun this chain of events. Captain Cade addressed her fleet. "We have shown restraint, yet strength. Humanity does not seek unnecessary conflict, but we do not forgive attacks on the innocent. Let this be a message to the galaxy. We protect our own, and we rise together." Rylan, monitoring the fleet's systems, added, "Every alien who attacked has felt the consequences of underestimating us. The energy flow from the child is still enhancing our systems. They will carry the memory of our power for a long time." Far beyond Zarin Prime, whispers of the human fleet's fury spread quickly. Alien communications channels buzzed with fear and speculation. "They are not extinct," one commander said nervously. "They are not weak, and they fight to protect their own. The precision, unity, and unstoppable force." The child, now safe, looked out of the viewport at the stars stretching endlessly before them. Something stirred inside, not fear, but a strange pride. They did not understand the full extent of their influence, yet it was clear that their presence had changed the course of the battle. Humanity had awakened fully, and the galaxy could see the consequences of cruelty. Captain Cade turned to her crew. Return to orbit around Zarin Prime. Prepare for repairs and debriefings. But remember this, the galaxy will test us again. And when it does, we will rise, as we have today. The fleet began its journey back, engines humming steadily, weapons systems deactivated but ready. Drones flew ahead, scanning the remaining asteroid fields for any hidden threats. The aliens who had attacked knew they were lucky to survive, but their confidence had been shattered. They had learned a lesson. harming even one human, especially. A child could awaken the full power of an entire species. On the colony, survivors rebuilt what they could. Engineers worked tirelessly to repair damage. Farmers replanted crops, and children cautiously played among the debris. The presence of the human fleet overhead was a reminder that humanity would always rise to protect its own. Captain Cade watched the stars, silent and thoughtful. "We fight for the innocent," she said softly, "for life, for justice, and for the bonds that make us stronger than any weapon. The galaxy will remember this day." Rylan looked at the child, now safe among the colonists. "You see," he said quietly, "even the smallest humans can change everything. You were part of this. Your presence made a difference. Humanity is stronger because of every life we protect." The child smiled faintly, still holding the toy, unaware of the fleet's response across the galaxy. It was not revenge that guided the humans. It was protection.